Hola and welcome to Rauta's Vinyl Monday. Technically speaking, this is however a concept which is not familiar here. This is duel review with a Vinyl Monday theme. So let's do it. This one is from Spain and the style is black metal, as you pretty much guessed. First I will tell you more about this first album, the debut one. Vientos, arcaicos, which as you can see is a little bit of a damaged goods with the bent corners and all that stuff. I mean, this is kind of bound to happen. Just a tip for you people sending vinyl. When you do it like this, it doesn't matter if it says no doblar. It might get just bent from the corners, but luckily the vinyl itself is intact. Just stay to those cardboard boxes if you're sending vinyl. So, Spanish band Calyx has released 2 albums now. The latter one from 2022 and the first one here, 2019, by Iron Bonehead. And this one is indeed a vinyl version, very basic kind of stuff. Nice gatefold though, with lyrics here included. But might not be readable for you, in case you're not familiar with Spanish and all. Comes with a nice bluish cover where a skeleton is taking a dance. No, the soup is way too hot. Oh no, I know it. Jokes aside, these guys could be described as the Spanish version of German band Disaster. So, kind of a traditional 1990s black metal, but also tapping into a little bit of a folkier parts. I'm talking about early Disaster when it was less black and trash and more tapping the veins of, keyboard infused black metal with lots of melodies and a little bit of the medieval touch. I'm talking about especially the first Disaster albums, and hence this is even on Metal Archives marked as similar artists to that. So 3 years later, Los Negros Vapores de la Bilis comes out. But this time it's a CD release, self-financed, and you could almost guess why so. But I'll tell you in a bit. This time, so indeed, no label here, but just a self-financed release. And like I said, CDR, which explains this golden greenish cover here, and this not exactly pro-made printing here. It's more like a kind of a sticker you add to it. If you know the difference with Pro CDR and CD, well, you already know what I mean here. Anyhow, the style is roughly the same, but something has changed since the first album, and this is a little bit of a curious case, because if you ask me, Calyx has been going backwards. Alright, let's tap for the band's Metal Archive site here on the background while I'll tell you a little bit more. So this band was founded in 2013 and they did the right thing, starting with demos before entering an album phase. This explains why the debut album is actually very, very pro in the sense it sounds good, the songs are very honed and catchy and all that stuff. It kind of lacks the finishing touch to be great, but it's indeed a good one. The Vientos arcaicos runs for some 45 minutes, give or take, and featuring 8 tracks. It's kind of right to the point, even if some of the songs are quite lengthy. I mean, given the style and all that stuff. So there's a strong 1990s vibe when you're listening to the melodies and riffs being used. Some are faster, some are more mid-tempo, so there's enough diversity. Variation, if you will. And the vocals are good. They're good raspy black metal vocals. Not exactly unique or one-of-a-kind kind of stuff, but the kind of black metal vocals you're expecting to. So everything from production values, that is, guitar sounds, drums, vocals, everything is like as it should be. Can't really complain about anything. And when it comes to the actual songs, how they're written, composed, and all that stuff, this is very, very easy to listen. Not the catchiest of them all, but still kind of pressing all the right buttons. So, comparing this to Disaster, it's not gonna put it down, nor take it to a pedestal. I'm saying this is a good album, not 93% good maybe, but yeah, definitely something that I'm very happy to find out about. I mean, this is good, and very comparable to early Disaster works. So, you'd expect the successor album, the second one, to be as good, or maybe even better. However, this is even more far away from this 85% than the first album is from 93. The thing here is, basically, this is roughly the same kind of a genre or style or whatever. The riffs are almost like the first one. I mean, the style is the same, but quality, it's worse. It's not bad, but it's worse. And the production, everything seems like this is a demo recording, like as if this should have come out some 3 years earlier than the actual debut album, instead of coming this way. Everything sounds kind of a clanky, and the gears lack power. The vocals are still good, but everything in production terms is like, this is demo. It sounds like that. And compared to the first album, it is a big letdown. I mean, it's a disappointment. And when it comes to the songs, if it only was the production that was, the faulty one, or, well, let's say weaker one, it's not bad, but it's not really good compared to a lot of bands coming out these days. Everything here seems like it's at least 2 steps behind the first album. I don't know how it came like that, because to me it seems like when you compare this, I was listening to this back to back, so it's not like I had a week span or 2 and, like figuring out how much I like this and that. But for me, it was like listening to an album and then listening to a demo. Everything from the production, everything from, songwriting to every fucking detail is like, yeah, these guys are as if they're trying to copy the first album, why it is so good. And now it's just like kind of a lukewarm experience. By no means bad one, but it just feels a disappointment. And if I had to go back to this one, I probably wouldn't be really happy about it. Whereas the first album, yeah, totally nailing it. So it's an interesting case to see why they go like this. Maybe the band will actually reply to me after this review and explain how it went, but it's too late for this particular review video anyway. But in essence, it seems like Los Negros Vapora de la Bilis is supposed to be like this demo or the first album, and then they would step up with Vientos, how to pronounce it, I can't really figure out, Vientos arcaicos. So it is just kind of a weird to listen to it in this particular order. Still, definitely worth listening to, definitely worth checking out, but if you if you have only time for one album by Calyx, to figure out if this is your cup of tea, start with the debut album. That's way better in my opinion. Now looking forward to hear from these guys in the future as well, because they have a lot of promise. It's more like Los Negros Vapores is like a step to the offside, and maybe they will just figure out how to fix it in the future. This is my opinion anyway. Check out the links provided. You will find them in the description box, and listen to some Spanish metal negro, and I hope you like it. Thank you, and see you soon with more reviews coming away. Bye-bye. Adios.